The war began the day the Coalition believed it had already won. Across the inner spiral, fleets burned and banners fell as the elder species enforced their final doctrine of balance. Worlds were subdued with precise force, resistance measured and corrected. And every young civilization was taught its place within the quiet hierarchy of the stars. Humanity was supposed to be one more entry in that long ledger of compliance. General Reth stood within the command sphere of the flagship Valiance, his 4 eyes fixed on the drifting image of a blue world scarred by orbital strikes. Earth had surrendered after 17 standard days, faster than projections suggested. Human fleets had been shattered, their colonies blockaded, their leaders compelled to sign the Accord of Submission. By all models, the species should have retreated into recovery and obedience. Instead, reports kept arriving. Reth turned to his adjutant, a calm officer named Hale. Human patrols had vanished from the usual lanes, yet signals of unfamiliar design echoed from the dark. Supply convoys failed to arrive. Listening posts went silent. None of it fit the pattern of a defeated people. The Coalition had studied humans carefully before the war. They were classified as adaptive, emotional, short-lived, and dangerously inventive under pressure. That last trait had been judged manageable. Every species invented when cornered, yet all eventually accepted limits. The humans had signed the Accord. They were expected to comply. Admiral Voss, commander of the regional arm, dismissed the early warnings. He declared that the humans were exhausted, that their losses had broken their will, and that scattered attacks were merely the spasms of a dying resistance. Reth was less certain. In every intercepted human broadcast before surrender, one phrase repeated in different languages: "This is not over." Months passed. Coalition forces redeployed toward new fronts, leaving occupation garrisons behind. It was then that the first human counterstrike came. A mining station near the border vanished in a flash that bent sensors into useless spirals. The explosion did not match any known weapon signature. No human ship was detected entering or leaving the system. The official report listed it as an industrial failure. Yet Reth felt a chill ripple through his scales. Then another station fell. Then a listening array. Then an entire patrol group was erased when space itself seemed to fold inward for a breath and tear the ships apart. General Reth summoned his analysts. Patterns emerged, slow and disturbing. The strikes targeted logistics, not population centers. They avoided civilian traffic. They were deliberate, restrained, and patient. The humans were not raging. They were planning. On Earth, far from Coalition sensors, councils met beneath shattered cities and rebuilt skies. Human leaders no longer argued about surrender or pride. They spoke of lessons learned. They spoke of survival. Engineers and scientists worked in sealed habitats and hidden moons, using captured technology and ideas born from desperation. Where Coalition doctrine prized stability, humans embraced risk. They had studied their conquerors as closely as they themselves had been studied. They learned that the Coalition relied on prediction, on probability, on wars that followed known curves. So the humans chose paths that curved away from reason. A human commander named Alex watched a holographic map shimmer in the dim light of a command bunker. He spoke rarely, yet when he did, the room listened. He reminded them that the goal was not revenge, but leverage. They did not need to destroy the Coalition. They needed to make it hesitate. The next phase began with silence. Coalition shipyards, reported delays caused by minor system faults. Navigation beacons drifted out of alignment by fractions too small to notice until ships arrived off course. Trade networks faltered as automated markets received corrupted data. Nothing catastrophic, nothing that justified alarm. Just enough inefficiency to slow an empire that depended on precision. General Reth felt the pressure mounting from within his own command. Resources were stretched thin. Questions from the High Council grew sharper. He ordered a full investigation and demanded direct engagement with the human remnants. The answer came sooner than expected. A human vessel emerged at the edge of Coalition space, broadcasting on an open channel. It was small, unarmed by standard scans, and utterly unconcerned with the weapons trained upon it. Its message was brief. We complied. We adapted. We are not satisfied. Admiral Voss ordered the ship destroyed. Before the command could be executed, the vessel self-destructed, releasing a burst of data that flooded nearby systems. For several terrifying moments, Coalition ships lost internal coordination as their own networks argued with foreign logic. Reth realized then that the humans had crossed a line no conquered species ever had. They were no longer trying to win the old war. They were changing the rules of the next one. Skirmishes erupted across the frontier. Human strike groups appeared without warning, using drives that defied known limitations. They attacked, withdrew, and vanished before retaliation could lock on. Each encounter taught them more.